effective applied music teacher has to be so much more than just a good musician. A good teacher has to have an understanding of philosophy and physics and history and psychology and sociology, as well as the obvious music theory and music history and, of course, cello technique and cello literature. It's a very complex set of qualities that you need to be a good teacher. You need to be a good communicator to understand the learning process, being aware of how the brain works and different personalities, different ways of learning. A good teacher has to have worked out a well-organized pedagogical system that really works. Good sequencing, good materials. We have to balance the right amount of technique and repertoire, the big picture and the small picture. I make use of the Socratic method or the Talmudic method in my teaching. It's far better for me to ask my students questions and have them explain to me what they know rather than me telling them what to do. This is preferable on many levels. It helps the student think through and verbalize the answer, which will help him organize his thinking, and it will also help him to be able to explain it to his future students.
Okay, that's good. Let's just stop here for a second. Okay, so this is a really hard one to memorize. Yeah. It's really tricky. What things are you doing to help yourself for memorization?
I'm trying to plan out the phrases, like where the main key changes happen.
Okay.
And just memorize only those sections.
Okay. So do you visualize it on the page? You know where you were just now?
Roughly, I was right here. Yeah, I was right there.
Okay. Yeah, and so do you know where you were key-wise?
Oh, the B.
Ironically, some of the easiest things in playing a string instrument are also some of the hardest things. Take playing an open string. When we start teaching a student how to play the cello, we start with an open string, just playing. And you would think that would be the easiest thing in the world. And yet, to control the sound, the different tone colors, the different dynamics, the different kinds of strokes that we use, all the subtleties of playing a string instrument, that takes years and years of study. I start every day with playing open strings, just playing 5 minutes or so of just the open strings. The true artistry of playing a string instrument is the right hand, the bow. We have to be aware of balancing. Just as in life, balance is very important in learning to play an instrument. The proper technique involves all kinds of very sophisticated balances. We really are like athletes. We're kind of finger athletes or arm athletes. We have to use our bodies effectively and efficiently, and we're constantly figuring out ways of balancing, whether it's balancing on the fingerboard for our vibrato or balancing for the bow.
Okay, now you got off a little bit. Okay. What is the system actually that we're using?
Round and around system.
The round and around. What are you doing with this system?
You increase you keep your regular big pulse the same, so the big pulses would be each bow change, and you increase the number of notes in each bow stroke, so that means your tempo needs to get faster as it goes along, and you have to do it. All the different combinations of fingering. So like the three fingers takes a lot longer to go around the system to get back to a down bow on the beginning of the scale.
So you always come back to a down bow, and you're doing how many notes in a bow? Starting with
2,
and then you go 2,
3,
and then you
4,
go
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
12.
Right, and you were on 9 just now, right? And we're getting up to 16.
Every student I teach has a different learning style, and everyone is motivated by different kinds of things. Some of my students are very left-brain oriented, meaning that they're good at getting the technical concepts of music that they're learning. They may be well-organized and very concrete, sequential type people. But a lot of musicians are more right-brained. They're more intuitive and creative, and sometimes have a harder time getting from point A to point B in a logical kind of sequential manner. They often have a different understanding of time, and it's part of my job to help them learn how to organize themselves well. However, the challenge for the left-brain person is in performing, they have to feel the music, and they have to be using their right brain. When you're on stage, you want to be in your right brain, and time becomes timeless. something. You know, that's the best you've played. I've heard you play those two movements at all, and some of the best that you've played in class. You know, how did you feel playing that?
I started off really anxious.
Well, you were anxious yesterday when the idea
I was
came up.
anxious yesterday, and I begged you not to play on, for me not to play on this. But I kind of just put myself in my own little world.
Okay.
Which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, I know sometimes you're not supposed to pretend you're...
No. For Bach, that's fine. That's a great thing, actually.
So I just pretended like no one was here and no one was listening.
Yeah.
It was just me playing my saraband for me.
Which you love anyway.
I love my saraband.
One of the very special programs we have here at USC for our students is the USC String Project. This is a nationally recognized program that trains our undergraduate teachers or undergraduate students to become teachers for the public schools. I was the director of the program for 15 years, and Dr. Gail Barnes is now the director of the program. And the USC String Project is the model for 36 other programs around the United States now. It's a nationally recognized program, and it gives our undergraduate students a wonderful experience under supervision, training to become teachers in the public schools.
Make your beautiful bow hold at the balance point. Violins and violas, pinky on top. Instruments in ready position. Lift, place, settle on your D string. And we're going to play hot crossbunds first. Somebody please say what note hard crossbund starts on. I saw your hand first. F sharp. 1, 2, ready, go.
Another aspect of our offerings here at USC for our students are the guest artists that come in and give master classes and performances here. Just recently, Matt Heimowitz, internationally known cellist and wonderful performer and wonderful teacher, was here and gave a master class for our students, and we have several of these every semester here.
So I would take individual notes here, and I would go for your ideal, and I would stay on them until you find the point of contact, the amount of weight you can get in, and the vibrato that matches what you want. And that's your goal, right? So that when so you want to soar to that D from the opening. It's such a difference between this sound because right now everything sounds like it's on one kind of sound thing. Okay, so anyway, I kind of threw a couple of different technical things at you, but the basic thing is make sure that the sound that you're hearing is somehow you're building this sound with the various building blocks of what you're doing with the right arm and with the glove, and make sure that the string comes all the way down to the fingerboard, so you have a core of the sound. No matter how quiet you can play, you must bring that string to the. Okay? Okay.
I love the cello, and I hope that I can communicate my love of the instrument and all the wonderful music that's written for it. Solo music, chamber music, orchestral music, even jazz and popular music. Every day I play an entire Bach suite for myself from memory. It's a great way to pull oneself out of the hustle and bustle of the day and calmly commune with this timeless music and that whole magical world that Bach created. I want to pass on this music and this love of music to the next generation and hope that others can enjoy what I also love.